Hello and thanks for joining us for today for another live broadcast of SMTV on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers.
Today is September 11th. It is the 11th anniversary of 9/11. And we're seeing some interesting things on social media. And it's interesting to see how brands are memorializing the event and talking about it and posting images and seeing what kinds of responses they get from it. One of the best things I saw was this wonderful tribute by the New York Police Department. The NYPD Twitter stream has been tweeting for a couple days now the names of officers who died on 9/11. And what's great is that they also include a link that takes you to a Facebook page with their photo and bio.
What a neat idea. I mean, it really kind of shows you what the power of social media these days and what kind of features and what kind of things we can use to create something that's really touching and beautiful. You know, that through Twitter and Facebook working together, so to speak,
right?
You know, through one brand's social media outlets. But it's just a really nice thing to see. I mean, it's kind of cool all the different things we can create nowadays using these social media functions. So.
It is really neat. And we'd love to hear from you. Do you think it's appropriate to post about events like 9/11 for your business? And have you? And then what have you seen on social media? I'd love to hear from you. And I want to remind you, anytime you have a question or a topic you'd like us to discuss on the broadcast, please just send it over to us.
You can email us your questions to questions@splashmediau.com, or you can tweet them to us by using the hashtag SMTVQuestions.
Let's get started. Brad wants to know, what are some useful ideas for using lists on Twitter?
Well, I know, Brad, that I use my list specifically to sort of remain organized. I try to organize my list based on subject matter, and I will come to go back and forth between them when I'm trying to look for something quickly. So Twitter, with this list feature, really helps me stay organized so that when I can find what I'm looking for in a timely manner and be able to respond to different things or share different posts. You know, if for example, if I'm looking for something sports related to share for one of my clients, I can go to my sports list. I can easily see what the hottest topics of the day are in that sports list, and then go on to share and try to create engagement with the members of my community based on whatever topic there is in sports happening that day. Duncan, you said you have a couple of other different reasons why you use lists, correct?
Well, first of all, I love the idea of the categories, because you're following hundreds or thousands of people on Twitter, and it's nice to be able to have an organized list of tweets by subject, so you can go in and put certain followers in a list and then just look at that list to find out what's happening that day. But you're right, there's also another great use for Twitter lists, and that is to put competitors in a list, because you might be hesitant to follow them.
Sure.
So you could have all of your competitors in a competitor list without having to actually click follow, and that way you can keep up with them and see what they're doing without feeling like you're actually following them if you don't want to. Although it's not a bad practice to follow your competitors. There's nothing, unless you have very proprietary issues and products and services, there's nothing really wrong with following your competitors. But that's a way around having to follow people. Also, if your ratio is not quite where you want it to be, if you're following too many people, you can kind of back that off a little bit, unfollow a few, and then put them into lists.
Oh, I totally agree. Calvin wrote to us, how can I use Pinterest to promote my vet clinic?
I think a vet clinic is a perfect use for Pinterest. And in fact, I pulled up the Newport Beach vet clinic here on Pinterest, and they're doing a great job of showing some graphics and some images, some photos of dogs, cats, the doctors, some images of the area, which is really nice because they're a local business. And this is kind of to get you started, you know, a couple of ideas here. And I think a veterinary practice is going to be very image-rich by nature. I mean, we talk about this all the time, that people love to see animals and babies. Mm-hmm. And to have a business that focuses on animals, you've got it made. You just got to take advantage of it.
Got to take advantage of it. And maybe another idea, you could do like Calvin's Cool Cats Corner or something, and show pictures of your customers' cats or something. I don't know, on the Pinterest
brilliant.
board.
Did you just come up with that? Calvin's Cool Cats Corner,
$1,000,000
customers'
idea.
cats.
Customers' cats. There you go. So that's a $1 million idea. We provide those a lot of the times here at Splash Media. You know, just off the cuff. You got to think about them, you know, when we can. So.
We provide those $1 million ideas like they're nothing. Here you go, $1 million idea.
That's what we do. That's what we're known for.
Justin has a question about blogging. He wants to know, how many blogs should I post each week?
Well, Justin, I would definitely recommend at least one. I mean, you want to keep your content fresh, and also one is a great sort of number, because you don't want to put out too much blogging info so that your blogs are crummy. You know, you don't want to be rushing through blogs and providing stuff that's just really not relevant to your subject matter or to what your customers will be looking for. So 1 is a really good number. If you could put out 2, that's great, but we would suggest 1 just because it's a great balance and it allows you to put out fresh and valuable and informative content out regularly. So
that is a great point about the danger of posting too many blogs, which we don't usually address. We talk about the danger of putting too much on Facebook or too many tweets out there, and that can be dangerous because it looks spammy. You overload your followers and fans' feeds. But one danger with posting too many blogs is that you might rush through them. You might actually, because we're looking at content that's 300 to 500 words, you're going to miss some stuff. And if you're trying to post a blog every single day, they're not all going to be the high quality that they would be if you were posting 1 or 2 per week.
You know, if I'm a business owner, I'm already struggling to try to have as much time as possible to do 1 blog, let alone multiple ones. Even if I were to hire somebody out to write blogs for me, that person, I'm sure, doesn't have enough time to really put out more than 1 or 2 quality posts that's relevant to your company and your customers a week. It's just simply, it's too difficult. Unless you have Mark Twain as your blogger, I don't think it's going to happen. So that's what I would suggest, Duncan.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think 1 quality blog post per week that's well optimized, very relevant, very readable, that's going to be much better than 5 poorly written blogs that are in the week, even if they came from Mark Twain.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you even think Mark Twain could put out more than 1 or 2 good blogs a week? I mean, seriously, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough question. Christina has another question about blogging. She wrote to us, I'd like to learn more about how SEO works. Where should I start?
Well, a couple of resources I would recommend for SEO. First, just stay on top of SEO news. Be sure that you're aware of all the Google algorithm changes. One resource that's great that we use a lot is SEO Moz, and they actually have a resources tab up here at the top with a lot of great things, a blog, some white papers to learn SEO. Great stuff, great tools for finding out information about key phrases and other relevant information. Another thing to do is take a look at our course catalog. I think Splash Media U, built into each of these platforms, we always talk about SEO. So take a look at the course catalog here for Splash Media U, and in each of these categories, Facebook, blogging, general studies, each one will have some great topical information about how to optimize posts for each of these platforms.
Yeah, and also Duncan just loves to answer specific questions about SEO, so be sure to email him at questions@splashmedia.com or hashtag SMTV questions on Twitter.
That's right. If you've got specific SEO questions, send them to us because we love to talk about those.
So yeah, definitely. I think we can provide some great info.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are all great questions, though. That's going to do it for today. I want to thank you for joining us this Tuesday for our live broadcast of SMTV, and keep those great questions and topic ideas coming in, too. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Jonathan Sellers. Be sure you have a great day.